As part of the D-Dot school, he had access to sewing machines, but the team was up against some deadlines and needed more than what was available at the school, so he joined TechShop. Here was a person trying to save babies in the third world. Our community was pretty interested in what he was doing, and that is where the power of the community comes in. At some point in the development of the infant warmer, a polymer chemist with years of experience introduced himself to Naganin, and over a short time helped him to redevelop the core chemistry to extend its use. The largest untapped resource on the planet is the spare time, creativity, and disposable income of the creative class. As enumerated in Richard Florida's instant classic, The Rise of the Creative Class, there are 40 million Americans in the creative class. They represent 50% of those employed and control $474 billion in disposable income in 2010. This class is an amalgamation of engineers, artists, lawyers, programmers, designers, and others who have the educational or professional propensity to create. They tend to congregate in creative cities that Dr. Florida has rank ordered. This has created a nice consulting practice around helping municipalities do a better job in developing programs and incentives to retain and attract this group of people. The cities at the top of the list are fairly obvious: San Francisco, Austin, and Boston. The key questions with regard to this group within the context of this book are these. What is the creative class doing to help drive the coming innovation boom? What are the current patterns of interaction we are seeing? And most important, how can we support and encourage the development of robust creative networks and systems? First, their day jobs, if they still have them, are likely to be creative by their definition. They may not be focused on breakthroughs, but this group is focused on pushing current products and services, refining them, positioning them, and delivering them. These people are on the front lines of the economy, working to make life happen. Many are focused on making it better, faster, and cheaper. That is what work is about. In a competitive economy, few get to rest on last year's accomplishments for long. They may be attorneys, analysts, or more obviously, artists and engineers, but the nature of their training and roles in the economy is about creating something, whether it is a great legal brief, fabulous advertising copy, or the left-turn blinker on next year's pickup truck. I'm particularly interested in their spare time, whether it's actually spare time or having been recently laid off between jobs spare time. Spare time. I recently gave a tour of one of our spaces. In addition to seeing the tools, my guest wanted to meet a few of the members, so we got to do one of my favorite things, namely wander around the shop asking people what they are making. Stopping at a work table, we spoke with a 30-something young woman who was working with felt and what turned out to be a laser jig. "What are you making?" I asked. "Oh," she replied, "these are high-end designer iPhone covers for my female friends." "Really?" "Yeah, I don't like the covers I find at the stores. They're too masculine, made of plastic, and too sterile for my tastes. So I've found this beautiful red and black felt made with organic dyes that I'm cutting on the laser cutter and then embellishing with various designs. My girlfriends love them. I've started to sell them at some nice boutiques in San Francisco." "They're gorgeous. What's your background? Have you ever done this before?" I asked. "Thank you," she said. "I'm working on a jig to try to make it easier and faster to make them. And no, I've never done anything like this before. I was recently laid off from an analysis job where I studied and reported on commercial real estate for a large independent rating agency. I have 2 master's degrees in business and government, but haven't been able to find a job." She smiled, adding, "I've taken a couple of laser cutter classes, become a member, and have started to sell iPhone covers as a way to make some money on the side." We wished her luck with the iPhone covers and moved on. I then talked to my guest about the creative class as we walked to the back of the shop, where a young man was running the ShopBot, a CNC woodworking machine. This machine can cut extremely elaborate patterns into 4 by 8 foot sheets of wood up to 5 inches thick, and it's attached to a computer where one creates the elaborate designs. You can see them primarily in high-end cabinet shops.